Hey guys, what's up? Long time no talk, you know what I mean? It's good to see everybody. Hope everybody is doing well. And kicking, right guys? Somebody give me a 5 for 5 in there if you could. That would be wonderful. You could do that for me. Hey Grizz, what's up? What's going on, Rat? Virginia, Pamela, Miss V, Mario, Vanessa, Jesse. What's going on, Jesse Brown? Seventh Son in the house. Marcella, Shining Star, Amy, Chris, Thinker was first one in here. You get the cookie. Bernard, Keith, my brother, what's up? Amy. Hey, I like you changed that first part of your name there, Chris. Lord Kiss Freak. That's my one of my favorite Canucks. Nacho and Axe is right there with him. But yeah. What's up, James? What's going on? So yeah. What's up, Keith Henry? What's going happening? Let me go back over to the top real quick. Hey, Rip, what's up, brother? Nacho. Axe is in the house here, too, I think. I've seen him pop by here. Pamela. And I know I'm saying hi to everybody because I just simply haven't been here for a minute. And if somebody wants to get mad over that, well, sorry. I don't know. You know my mom used to say to me all the time? Well, you can get happy in the same pants you got sad in. Just kidding. I'm just said that because my mom used to say that all the time. Hey, Tim, good to see you. Leisure, my brother. Penny. Trapmatic, what's going on? Shining Star, what's happening? Like the song? Yeah, Mandolin Rain's pretty cool. That's a good song. You know, I don't monetize or anything, so I'm able to play songs like that because, you know, if you play a song like that, they would get the royalties on that and the copyright on it, and any money that was made on my video would go to them. But I don't monetize, so I don't have to worry about it. What's up, Cheryl? Phoenix. All right, guys. Before I do get started here, guys, Rip Curl, our boy Rippy in here, he actually is the one. I was getting ready to do a live stream over on the lifeboat, and sorry, what's up, Jay? He sent me a text, say, "Hey, man, something just happened on the sun." So I took a look at it, and sure enough, man, we had some stuff going on. This is kind of what we do for each other in this community, you know? We really do. We do, when stuff like this happens, we'll contact everybody and be like, hey, guys, hey, this just happened, or earthquake, or, you know, any of these kinds of things that go on. We do talk about it in the background a little bit. So, yeah. But to get back to my point there, Rip is going to be coming on tomorrow over on the lifeboat, and it'll be on at noon West Coast time. And obviously, you know, whatever your time zone is, compute that. Now it'll be 3 o'clock Eastern, and he's going to be sharing his story with us, and I'm looking forward to it. Me and Tommy will be over there on the lifeboat, and I'll mention it again at the end of the video. But for anybody that's just going to step in and check this out for a second, but just wanted to make sure I pointed that out because, you know, it's always good to talk to people that's in our community, especially when we're talking about some, you know, real life stuff that happens to us, and sharing that, you know, with the aspect of trying to help other people by sharing our story. Hey, Sarah, what's up? Yeah, Nooner. Yeah. Okay, so let's, let me check the frame rate here real quick first. Okay, we are going to go ahead and go on then, because, yeah, we had a decent-sized flare, guys, and I have to say, this is one of the few times that, it may have even been the first time, that I was actually sitting at my computer when we had a solar flare like hit us. And typically, you know, we're usually only talking about radio blackouts and stuff, but anybody that was over on the live stream on the lifeboat at the time, it cut out. I didn't know why it cut out at the moment. You know, it did. It just like bam, and it came back after like 30 seconds. So we were able to keep going with the live stream, but everybody over there seeing it glitch and everything else. And sometimes we have technical issues, but I went and looked, and we had just had this flare when that happened. So, I can't say for certain that that's what caused it, but I'm going to show you some stuff that will probably pretty much prove it. So, yeah. So it was an M1 flare. And, again, this is something we're going to talk about a little bit more in depth as we get going, because this flare, actually, before we move forward with that, I'm just going to show you this real quick. Need to zoom in. I want to show you where it's at, because this is important right here to understand where this was at. So I'm gonna hit play here, and it's up here from this active region. It most definitely is going to get designated as a sunspot. It just isn't on the Earth-facing side of the sun yet. Okay, but you can definitely see that happened, right? And that's what makes this a little bit more impressive. Not to mention the fact that this thing has been blowing big flares off the backside of the sun for over a week. Okay? We just haven't been getting any of it because obviously they're going the other way. We're talking full halo stuff. And one of them, most likely, because of the speed of which it fired off, was most likely an X-flare. We have a hard time seeing how actually strong it is if we don't have a detector over there to see, how much X-ray it shot out, and, and all that kind of, and the plasma and everything with the CME afterwards. But I can confidently tell you that this here, that was not on the Earth-facing side of the sun. You can't see it until it actually explodes. So what's happening here is it got, it's behind the horizon there of the sun, and so it flares like that. And when it gets higher above that horizon is when the X-rays came our direction, right? And you've probably seen a little flare there right before the bigger one was right there. But this is a decent sized one. I mean, again, an M1. Now, I will say this. Let me go back here for a second. We are hanging pretty close to sea level flare as just a nominal base X-ray production anyway. Okay? So it doesn't take a whole lot more to get us up into anything bigger. What I'm saying here, for people that don't understand or haven't heard me talk about this before, if this baseline X-ray flux was right here, now, that's why I got it to M1. Now, if it was down here, you take the same height there, and you're probably about here. So now we're only talking like a C-class flare, most likely. So, it does make a difference. Okay? So, and then you see the yellow box here, and we're going to, let's go over here to, the yellow box there, guys, is radio blackouts, okay, on the day side of the planet. We were on the night side when this happened. So, that right there tells you we can get an effect on the other side of the planet. You don't absolutely have to be facing the sun to catch some activity, okay? And again, guys, if you guys ever dig into Aurora, that Aurora is actually produced coming from behind. I'm not going to go into why and how and all that, because that's a long conversation. But it isn't from the blast, when it hits us in the front. It's kind of like a reconnection from the backside and all that. Hey, Truth, what's up? But anyway, so the R1 there means radio blackout. Level 1, if you want to go there with it. So here is the scales. So what can you expect? Weak or minor degradation to high-frequency radio communications, loss of radio contact, navigation, low-frequency navigation signals degraded for brief intervals. Okay? Now, again, I can't say for certain that that's what caused my internet to pop off, but it definitely happened at the same exact time. It was actually kind of crazy. So, but anyway, we'll go back to this because this will show you this 131 really gives us a good view of what this flare is doing. Let me let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit more. And why I'm doing this, guys, I do want to give you guys an explanation here on why I haven't been here. My whole family and myself have had C plus math. Okay. And I got it pretty bad. I was actually running 103, 104 fever for multiple days in a row. And I'm still fighting a little bit. I'm really, really fatigued. My memory, believe it or not, I was talking to somebody about that today. My memory is like foggy. It just, I've been losing my thought pattern right in the middle of a sentence and everything else. And I come to find out that is kind of a little bit of a side effect or a symptom of what C plus math can do to you. Right? Hey, Jedi Skywalker, what's up? We're on day, what's up? So you guys can see this. Now, this gives you a really good idea because you can't even see this thing once before it blows. See? You can't even see the active area at all. And this thing, I can't remember, is it on this view? I think it is. Let me do this real quick. Let's go back here. Do that. Okay. So we'll go up here and I'm going to show you the connection. You can actually see it on this flare. You see these arcing connection lines, right? We talk about these a lot. That's how the plasma is traveling. It's on that magnetic connection line, right? And they loop so that it comes right back to the sun right there until they don't. And they break and bust off. And that's what causes these eruptions. So let me find out exactly where that was at. Now, see, this is a small one right before the bigger one happened. Okay? I think that was it. Okay, yeah, it was. So, this might not be the angstrom. By the way, this is the 131 angstrom. And again, this is not an X flare. I say this every time because it can get very confusing. You see how the light from this is taking an X pattern? It's only because that's how the camera interprets it. Okay? It's a lighting effect that happens when it, you can recreate this with your own cameras at home. If you shine a really, really bright light into the lens at the correct angle, you're going to get stuff like this. Okay? But this is not an X flare. This is an M flare. So don't get confused on that. Now I know for me, that's a beautiful sight. I mean, it really does. It's cool to look at. But again, let's see if we can't. I want to find the one where I can't remember what angstrom it was. Sorry, guys. I'm kind of out of practice on all this. It might have been on the 304. I think it was. So let me. This is the one. The 304 is the one we go and we look at the filaments. Typically, I think this one's picking up ionized helium, and when they're using different angstrom filters, that's what they're doing. They're trying to get down to specific gases so they can see things that you typically wouldn't unless you had that filter on there. And it's allowed us to have a lot of good education on the sun. This kind of technology, but again, it happens right here. Now I think this is the one that shows the. Kind of walking through it with you here real quick. Okay, now you see that? You didn't see that on the 131, did you? Okay, it wasn't as pronounced. That's a smaller flare. That isn't the big flare. Okay, so that smaller one happened. I ain't got it back far enough. That was the bigger one. You guys there? Are you guys there? Give me a 5 for 5 if you would. Hey, Don, what's happening? Okay, cool. Believe it or not, guys, that was my own fault. I got a hotkey on my keyboard, and I accidentally hit that stupid key, and it shut the stream off for a second. Sorry about that. That had nothing to do with the sun here, okay? But anyway, yeah. So, yeah, that just happened, didn't it? It happens. It is what it is. Ain't no shame to my game on that end of it. Okay, so this is the 211. We'll run this back like this too and see what we get. Okay. So, it's over here. And again, it's always impressive to see these things, right? I think that's the smaller one right there. Let me see. Nope. Okay, so this is 211, and you're going to see it. See how the whole atmosphere of the sun just gets disrupted? Boom. Now, I have to say, that's a CME coming off with it. It's pretty clear, right? But this CME is not coming at us. This thing is probably even angled towards the backside. Now, stereo A is kind of on the side. This isn't stereo A. This is SDO right here, and it's right in front of the Earth. Now, stereo A is kind of on the side. Hey, thanks, Kim. Appreciate you. Hey, Flamin'. Hey, Bernard. So, yeah. There definitely is a CME, but that's not coming at Earth. What's going to be giving us the main weather for us here on the sun is going to be coming from this. Okay? That is a sizable coronal hole. Okay? I mean, it really doesn't, it doesn't get much more open than that. A lot of times when you see these coronal holes, you kind of see a little haze over it. This is some pretty wide open corona here. Okay? So what that's allowing to happen is it's allowing that plasma to stream out of the sun. And it gets here through a magnetic connection line. Interplanetary magnetic field line is what they call it. And it has a charge, and that's what plasma is. Plasma is a gas that is charged, has a positive and a negative. So just like electricity, this plasma will go the direction of the charge. And sometimes it's negative and sometimes it's positive. So it can actually go, backwards, forward, all that kind of stuff. Right? And that's a lot of the reasons why we see a lot of stuff hit us from the back inside our magnetic field, because that's what happens. When it gets around there, sometimes it's got that, there'll be a reconnection time, and it'll boom, right? And then it'll look like we got really, really smoked on the backside. And again, I ain't saying that we don't get stuff from behind us sometimes, because I think we do. I don't think anybody ever argues that. But a lot of times what you're seeing is a reconnection point. So yeah. But this coronal hole is no joke. That's a pretty deep one. Right? And you know it's a substantial coronal hole when it shows up on all the angstroms. Okay, so all the gases are showing it. A lot of times you see coronal holes on this one, it won't even look like that. You almost can't see hardly any coronal holes on this 304 very often. But the fact that we can see that right there is telling me that that's a pretty wide open coronal hole. You can even kind of see it here. And if you compare the color here to right here on the pole, because on the north and south pole of the sun, it keeps a coronal hole open all the time. It's always there. Now, it'll shrink and get bigger from time to time. But there's always something there. I mean, look at these things. It's all the same, sun and all that, right? I mean, obviously. But you can even see it here. And the 171 here, guys, this really shows a lot of the corona. I mean, you can see the haze around it. So that gas that it's detecting there, and I'm not sure which one the 171 detects. I actually should look that up, because I'd like to know that. Hey, Medicine, hey, Miss Honeybee, what's going on? Hey, Body and Soul. Don, what's happening? Coleslaw. Like it. All right. So, let's, what I do want to do I want to show you guys what's been going on with this sunspot. Okay? Because when this thing gets in front of us, we're going to have to pay attention. Okay? Because it's blue X flares off the backside. This is like its third or fourth M flare within the past week. So if this, hey Renee, so if this thing holds together as it rotates in front of us, it's going to be interesting. So if we take a look at this, actually I'm not even going to show it to you here. We'll go over here to seeds and I'll show it to you there. If you guys ever go over here to seeds, I want to show you guys this because I don't usually show you this part of it because I usually just already have it keyed up. But if you come down here, the Lasco C2, that's a tool on the Soho Observatory, and it's in a similar position like SDO. Well, you can see it here. It's out in front of the Earth looking at the sun. Okay? It's that simple. Stereo A is over here, right? Stereo B over here. But if we ever have like events and stuff, like a flare and all that, if the system picks it up, it will actually, look at the frames and it'll put it down here. And a lot of times these will be red or orange. You can see, depends on how big they are. So anything that's bigger than 120 degrees wide is going to show up in red. Anything from 60 to 100 is going to be orange. And then anything smaller than that is going to be black. And that's why you see a lot of, most of this stuff is black. But when you start seeing these, it doesn't really necessarily mean it's powerful. Okay, it's just talking about the size of it. So if you click on that, you get this, right? This is nothing more than a glitch. This actually happened probably an hour or so, 5 or 6 hours before that flare. Now you can definitely tell that this is a camera issue. I mean, come on, look at the direct. Here, I'll just stop it on one of those. See the shapes? Okay. I mean, that's nature doesn't do that, guys. Okay? Just saying. Hey, Dolores. Hey, Brenda. Stacy's in the house. Oh, yeah. So you're seeing, hey, Miss V. So that's, what happens sometimes, guys. These cameras do have issues. Sometimes if they see a big bright light, it can cause this. SDO did a controlled calibration roll. They do that a lot, too. Hey, John and the Spirit. They'll calibrate their position by making them roll. And they find home and there's a whole lot of things that are going on. But they have to do that from time to time to keep the parts of the satellite moving and to make sure it's in the right position, right? And, you can see this up here, guys. I mean, come on. This is nothing, okay? It's a nothing burger, is what a lot of people would say. But if you go down here and we go back a couple days, check this out. Okay, so that actually happened. This is part of that full halo I was just talking about. So I'm going to back off and I'm going to show you where it blew. Well, that ain't the one either. Back another one here. Right here, I think. Yeah. That's all the same. Well, I think there was a couple flares in there, but this is all basically the same event. So let me, I'm just going to slow it down. Okay, now this is the one that they said was probably an X flare. Hey, Michael. Ashra. Hummingbird. If I mispronounced that, I apologize. So you can definitely see. Now, almost all the action's coming from this sunspot. This was back on the 12th, guys. We're now 2 days after. So here in about a day or two, that sunspot's going to be on the Earth-facing side of the sun. And, the position of this sunspot and what it's been doing, when it fires stuff off, it fires it off at a more northerly direction. Okay? Now that could be good or bad for us, just depends. It doesn't have to blow it that direction. The next one this thing blows could blow this direction. You just don't know. Hey, CH, what's up? But this is what's been going on with the sun. And again, guys, I'm sorry I was gone for so long. But we really haven't had a whole lot of stuff going on. Okay? And that's why I haven't been here. You know, if we'd have had like some big, huge event, I would have been on here for at least 5 minutes to tell you, right? That's a promise I've made to everybody. Even if this is me popping on here saying, hey guys, this happened, go look at it yourself, bye. You know what I mean? At least I would do that. But, you know, we just haven't had a whole lot of action. And I wasn't even really going to talk much about this until it got closer. But then I had this flare tonight. So, you know, might as well show it to you guys, show you all of it. So, this right here is a geoelectric field model. This is space weather's effect on our electrical grids. Artificial electrical components. And I'm not sure if you guys remember, but I was talking about how when we would see these things act up, it would be in this section. Now, if we'd look at this 2 hours earlier, we took a couple of quick little blasts when that flare happened. And it was right there. So, I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know what's causing that. I don't have an answer for that. I don't know why we're seeing more activity just in this section. This model here has been here for about 2 years. So it's you know, they're getting a lot of the bugs worked out. This one here, not so much. They're trying to do a 3-dimensional representation here, and they just haven't got it working yet. Okay, you can definitely see around the bigger cities where there's going to be more action because there's more population, which means more artificial electrical components. Right? Where did Canada go? Oh my goodness, Chris. You're killing me, man. Killing me. Love it. So, aurora. Now, X-ray does not cause aurora. Okay? Solar wind does. CMEs, plasma, right? So, the X-rays are not going to increase aurora. It just doesn't do that. That's why you're not seeing it here. Now, we have a coronal hole getting ready to hit us. Not a coronal hole. The wind, the solar wind from that coronal hole is getting ready to hit us. It's getting close right now. And I'll show you NOAA's forecasting here. On the 15th, tomorrow night. What's today? Today's 14th? Yeah. So, here in about 48 hours, we can expect storm conditions from what they're saying here. Now, it's just G1 storm. There could be a CIR in this, and what that is that's the zone in between two areas of solar wind. And what happens is you get a compression effect that makes it like more dense in that area. And when that CIR hits our magnetic field, it will sometimes give us storm levels. It give us a pretty good hit. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, if we go down here, this is the X-ray, the absorption prediction. Okay? Normal X-ray background. And when you see this thing light up, that's where the X-rays were. Alright, so I'm just going to pause it, and we'll take it here. You see all those little ones there? Okay, and so right about here is when there's your M flare right there. Okay? Now, like I said earlier, I'm over here in the States, right? So, I don't know what caused the internet to go out. Something did. But yeah. But it happened right at the same time this flare hit. And it was kind of crazy. So, I can't say for 100% that this is what caused it to go out, but I don't even know if X-ray could cause the internet to go out. If it messes with radio signals, I guess it probably could at some level. I really don't know. I don't want to claim that, so because I don't know. The Earth tilted today? You're asking me that, chill, bro? I don't think I said that. I can tell you that the Earth didn't tilt today. Are we in Mercury retrograde? I haven't looked. I know that we were close to it or getting ready to come out of it or something. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, did they? Talking about the Earth being tilted? Yeah, I'm not going to go down that whole thing tonight, guys. Frankly, I'm kind of done talking about that. I'm not. You're not doing nothing wrong, like chill, bro. Yeah. Yeah. I've already said what I think I need to say about the Earth tilt, so I'm not going to go into it anymore. Just not interested in arguing with people, but it is what it is. So anyway, as we got the sunspot number here, I'm going to point this out. Right, this is the amount of sunspots we have throughout the years. Now they do it in the cycle, approximately 11-year cycle. You can call it a 22 cycle, 22 year. What that means is from start to finish, and then back to start again or finish again the second time. That would be 2 full sun cycles. If you're talking 11, but if you're talking about the 22 cycle, that would just be 1 sun cycle that way. But yeah. So, what I want to point out here is we are more active than what they thought we were going to be. And we're going by just sunspot number only. Okay, that's what they do here. The amount of sunspots that face the Earth. For how many days that they do, that's how they figure this, right? And they were saying that it was like a third more activity than what they expected. So we're we're ahead of the curve here. You can see it. You see this right here? This line here, this red line, is their forecast, predicted values. We're way up here. Now, but I don't want people freaking out over that either, because go back and look at the last sun cycle. It still jumped around. But the fact of the matter is, we are more active. We haven't actually been on their forecasted or below their forecasted line. Doesn't even look like at all since this new sun cycle started. So, we definitely are on an uptick. Now, if you go back and look at early sun cycle 24, we definitely dipped down below there a couple times. I mean, you would expect to see this thing up and down. I mean, it's not going to be like a consistent whatever. But this is their forecasting. We've been on that line, but we're definitely above average right now. And I don't see it changing. Okay? There was a lot of discussion about this for a few years here. Some big papers came out. Some scientists were arguing with each other. I mean, they were really going at it. So, yeah. Let's go to, so this is our magnetosphere, right? Sun's off to the left. This is the wind speed here on the top. Actually, I'm just going to refresh that. Hit play. Okay, this is speed. And you see our bow shock. You can even see kind of how our magnetic field tilts. You see that? So, and that's kind of what, if I said tilt, if I misspoke, that's what I meant. When I say we've tilted, I'm usually talking about our magnetic field, because it does fluctuate up and down. So you can see that. Now, the density, this is density only. Okay? It's not factoring in speed or nothing. This is seeing the density of the plasma. Notice how the white colors are behind us is because it's inside our protection. It's inside our magnetosphere. Okay? So right directly behind us, you can even kind of see how that, you see, watch this right here. Notice how it starts right here and goes that way. It doesn't start way back here and move. Okay? I just want to point that out because that never gets pointed out. See how I did that? Again, it's charged gas. So it has to travel on a magnetic connection line. And that's what's happening there is it's reconnecting and it, boom, right there. Okay? And I could go into some big details on that. If you guys want to learn about that, go over to Tamitha Scove's page, her website. It's Tamitha, and I think how you spell her last name is Skov. She's a space weather woman. I've learned a lot from watching her. She does, it's free college, basically. You know, I don't personally know Tamitha. I just like what she talks about and how she explains things, and you can tell she cares about it. She's been on the Weather Channel talking about space weather. She's been on a lot of that stuff. So I would encourage you guys to go check her out. So yeah. But this is our magnetic pressure. You see how you can kind of see the tilt here? And you can definitely see, now this is not excessive activity, okay? Matter of fact, it's kind of not real strong at all. Okay, so this is the Discover data. Now, see, I was kind of expecting to see the BZ do this. You see this right here? Remember what I said? We're looking for -6 or bigger. That's -4. When it's at a negative tilt, right? Again, positive, negative. The black, up here, it's showing you the positive. So, I mean, and this will, if this gets up into positive like that, that's really not the best position for us to accept any kind of extra solar weather. Helps block it, really. So, yeah. So, yeah. Man. Hey, Kim Possible, how you doing? Yeah, guys, I mean, I went over that Earth tilt thing, guys. I really don't want to go back into that. So yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of channels out there, guys. And what do I typically say? Anybody that's been around enough has heard me say this. You can get good information from every channel. You just have to go look at it for yourself. Okay? There's reasons why I say certain channel names, and there's reasons why I don't. All right? If somebody's going to, I don't know, somebody's going to call me names and stuff like that, I would be ridiculous to promote their channel. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean that you can't get good information there, highly educated information everywhere. You just got to decide for yourself. So if we're looking at anything, scientific, space, whatever you're talking about, you have to, even if it's accepted fact, you have to have a little bit of an open mind. Because, that's what they teach them to do. They're supposed to question everything. But, let me say this. When you question it and you go look at it, then you make your decision, right? So, if your decision is telling you, hey, it's what they said it was, or hey, it wasn't what they said it was, then that's where you fall, right? You got to be able to accept whatever in your mind you think is the truth. And that takes some exercise there, guys. It really does. So just understand that. You know, that's why you won't hear me on here blasting anybody. I don't do that. I just don't think it's not productive at all. So yeah. Oh, really, Sharon? Yeah, see, and that's the thing. You know, something else that we've all forgotten how to do is to be able to disagree without being hateful. Right? I would disagree with that statement right there, that the earth tilted. I would definitely disagree with that. Now, let me say this, okay? We're at a 23.4 degree tilt anyway. We did tilt, we got a cycle back and forth. That's a, back and forth thing that goes, but it's only a 2 degree, I think it's roughly 2 degrees. Back and forth over a period of, I think it's like 46,000 years, or maybe even longer. So, this is what you guys have to understand. The biggest thing for me, guys, if we're going to see I'm going to say this, and I'm going to drop this subject, okay? Because there's a couple things that would have to be answered. If we're going to claim that the earth tilted really, really farther than what it should be, there's a couple things that would absolutely happen. First off, the amount of daylight hours you see would change immediately. Right? Because that's basically what does give us how many hours of the day we get. Okay, it's the speed that we rotate, which, yes, that has sped up. Okay, but it's only sped up by milliseconds, guys. Milliseconds. Okay, we're not talking about even a minute. We're talking about milliseconds. So when somebody uses that, hey, well, they said this and it's sped up, and they use that as a mic drop moment, go look at how much they say it's sped up. That's what people need to do before they make some big claim. Hey, Ricky, good to see you. But, yeah, so the daylight hours would change. And you know a good way to check that? Okay? They got whole industry of people, the tourist industry, closer to the North and South Pole, closer to the Arctic and Antarctic Circle, where they have hotels, they have all kinds of like tourist areas. People go there for what reason? So they can experience the midnight sun. What's that mean? That means that the sun stays up for 24 hours. It doesn't set. Okay, now it doesn't stay that way all year, because when we tilt, say we're tilted to the left like this, if the sun's right here in the middle and we're tilted like this, guess what? When we're over here on this side of the sun, we're still tilted the same angle. That axis is not turning, okay? It stays pointed the same general direction. So our daylight hours would change. The second thing that you guys can look at to go back and prove that is the fact that every sundial on the planet would not work. Okay? If we tilted any significant amount that we weren't supposed to, we've got sundials that have been on this planet for hundreds and even thousands of years. They're still standing today. They still work. If we had tilted way, way more like what gets talked about, that would no longer work. Also, navigating by the sky, okay? People that are into bushcraft, you guys know what that is? It's kind of like a preparedness thing, but they can go out, they go off grid and all that. They can navigate by the night sky. They can navigate by the day sky, right? Whatever they're looking at and whatever mathematics they're using, those have not changed, and they can still do that. If they can still do that, that says that stayed the same. They're still using the same technique, is what I'm trying to say. If we had been at 23.4 and somebody went out, on a hike and had to use the sky to get back to wherever they were at, they made it back, right? Well, say the Earth tilted even like 10 or 20 degrees more than what it should have, they're going to end up in a totally different spot. Same thing for boats. All of it. So that's I'm not going to talk about this anymore, but listen, guys, I mean, that's what somebody would have to explain that to me. I want to know, because what happens is people start demanding things of us to try to disprove what they're saying. Well, if you're going to go against what is widely accepted science, then it's your responsibility to prove it. It's not my responsibility to prove you wrong. And I have no desire to prove anybody wrong. I just want the truth. Yeah, being IWE, I'm not going to go into that. It's the same thing. People don't quite understand. I'm not going to get into that. All that's going to do is start an argument between people, and I have no intentions of doing that. People are allowed to believe what they believe, okay? And I'm not. People, I don't go at anybody that believes different than me. They're welcome to have their opinion, but I can also, I have mine. Oh, that's your proof? You go outside and look? All right, well, let me ask you this. If the moon is doing that, like what you're saying, which I actually agree with you. Okay? I do. I agree that the moon is and it's not just the moon. The whole sky is. It appears to rotate or roll. I don't disagree with that whatsoever. The question is it normal? So this is what would, on that whole aspect of what you're talking about there, if somebody wants to tell me what we're seeing in the sky is not normal, they first need to tell me what is normal. Not their memory or any of that. They need to show me how they know what normal is. And to this point, nobody's shown me that. That's all I'm saying. I don't understand. This is another issue I have. If I'm going to say it's abnormal, then I first need to know what normal is. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that before too, Bean. I wouldn't, Dimitri. I wouldn't know any of that. That's what I'm trying to say. I really do. I don't, so I guess what I'm trying to say is just take in consideration if you were going to go into like some sort of legal aspect or whatever, and if you've ever watched anything, what holds the most weight for evidence in a courtroom? You might know. Mathematics. You want to know why? Math does not lie. Math doesn't care what's true or false. Math is just math. So, yeah. So, like I said, I can't tell you what the sky looked like when I was a kid. I simply just don't remember. Yeah. And again, guys, you guys can believe whatever you want to believe. I'm not going to think anything less of you, okay? And that's just me being honest. I won't. I really do appreciate everybody's opinion. Nobody's disrespected me or anything. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I hope I'm not, offending people here. I'm not trying to. I'm just telling you what I see, right? And, and I dug into this whole conversation. And I'm not going to get into, when you talk about like field rotation, the word that really what you need to look for is parallactic angle. Not parallax, parallactic angle. And, again, there's differences of opinions on that too. So, I mean, and again, we're talking about math. But the thing is, nobody has ever been able to show me what they say normal is. Yeah, you know what, Bean? The color of the sun changes because of distance. The thing is, Bean, that's not the only thing that can change it. Okay? The majority of what you see in the sky, as far as the color goes, is because of our own atmosphere. So all of that, if our atmosphere changes to a point where it's letting more stuff in or it's closing off and not letting as much in, the way the light bends inside our atmosphere is going to change the color. It doesn't necessarily have to be a distance thing. But yeah, I mean, what you stated there is correct. If it's further away or closer together, it definitely will change the color, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's exactly what happens. There are a lot of different things that could do that. So, anyway. And I appreciate the conversation, guys. I really do. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep. And I think that's, and what I do appreciate about stuff like this is when people can talk like we're talking right now, and nobody's getting mad. Nobody's offended. It's just our opinions. It's our opinions on what we think the fact is, right? And here the thing that I would say here is, as far as like the whole whatever we're talking about, the truth doesn't need defended. It'll defend itself in the end. When I'm wrong, I come out and tell you guys, hey, I'm wrong. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I honestly kind of feel the same way, Bean. It does look and feel a little different to me. Okay. And again, that's a big conversation. I have no way to prove what I think I remember is what I'm trying to say. And so that's why I can't say for certain. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if that makes any sense to you guys. I just don't want to come out and say something and not have, my thoughts in that correct manner to where I can be confident in what I'm saying. I can say this, guys, I don't remember what the sky looked like when I was a kid. Not exactly. I'm 47 years old. I remember laying on my back, looking up at the sky and watching the clouds. hey, Alfred, and like seeing what kind of shapes you can find. You know, we've all done that, right? Yeah, you're right, Keith. I need to move on. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to. I just haven't been here for a minute, and thanks for getting me back in the mindset there. Okay. Wow. That's interesting. Like I said, I've never looked at that information before, so I really don't have a opinion on that yet. I can go look at it and see what I can see. But hey, Douglas, and guys, you know, like I said, guys, I think you guys know me better than most people in the world, probably. It's just I've learned throughout my channel, and frankly, I'm embarrassed at some of the stuff that I did really, really early on, and I've corrected myself since then. But I leave those mistakes there so you guys can see me make them, because I'm not afraid to be wrong. So if I'm wrong, I need to come tell somebody, right? When I figure it out, if I think I'm wrong. I'm not just going to sit over in the corner and not say nothing. Hey, Matthew, I can show you right now. Let me show you that, Matthew. That's a good thing there. Thank you for asking that. Dying to find out where that M class tonight came from. Love to know where and how to look this stuff myself. Let me show you. It's not hard, okay? Go to, matter of fact, I'll drop the link in the chat for you. See, I like this because people are going to go look for themselves. I like that. That's very, very cool. So here is NOAA, Space Weather Prediction Center. The link's right there, man, if you want to grab it and copy it and paste it, whatever you need to do. If you guys come over here to this is NOAA's site. Now, I'm going to show you something. Scroll all the way down on this page. You see where it says products and data, models, reports. Almost every link you could possibly need to look at space weather is right here. There are other places to go. We can, but the thing of it is, guys, they're getting their information from the same satellites. Even though they might come from a different organization, it's still coming from the same satellites. Oh, do you? Okay, cool. Yeah. So, you know how to navigate it then. So, and that's cool. So, yeah. Now, there are a couple things that aren't on here that I show people. Matter of fact, I'll bring one of them up for you guys. There is a, this is a shout out to my Aussies. Love my people from down under. This right here is an Australian magnetopause model. I've shown it here on my channel before. I just haven't shown it in a while. I really, really like this one, by the way. Because it's simple. Bow shock. Right? Here's where all of our satellites typically are. This is the Earth. Sun's off to the left. We're in solar cycle 25, Alfred. But yeah, it is. For sure. So, was that, I don't want to get your name wrong. It was Matthew. Yeah, Matthew. Also, guys, you can go to ISWA. And if you used that dashboard before, this is a really great place to come look for SDO. This gives you really higher definition than what the other SDO site will. So come check this out. This dashboard here is huge. This has got all kinds of stuff you can look at. So Yeah. I'm sure you know that. Okay. Yeah, so if you come over here to ISWA, and again, I'll go ahead and, just in case you don't have the link or anybody else wants it, I'll drop it in there in the live chat here. I could post these in the description, but man, the description would be crazy long. That's ISWA. So if you come over here, you got tabs and then you got pages. So you can get to, if you come back here, you're on the solar tab. You go to 1, you're going to get these. And then here's Soho. See, a lot of people don't even know that Stereo A has these extreme ultraviolet filters also, just like SDO and Soho do. People just don't show them very often. That's Stereo A. So if you go to page 3, page 4, then you're looking at SDO. You can come here. This is Stereo A right there. Okay. Page 8, Soho. This one right here is the same exact one you're going to see if you go over to Seeds right here. That's the same camera. Oh, okay. I can show you that too. Right here, if you go over to Seeds, actually, I'll just copy, paste. Okay, so there's Seeds right there. All you got to do when you go over to Seeds, you're going to see this right here. All you got to do is click on the date. It'll take you. So we'll click on the 12th again, and you can go faster, slower, all that kind of stuff. Here's the timestamps. If you want, back over here at ISWA, if you go here, you got drop-down boxes. Hit the drop-down box. You see where it says number of frames? The highest number of frames you can see is 300. So if I change that to 300, it's going to show me this capture here and the 300 that came before it. Hit apply, it'll load, all that kind of thing. And I usually have all this stuff. You never seen the Seeds one before? Yeah, you should check that out, Matthew. You really should. It's a good one. I think Scott posted a video today, Jack. Pretty sure. So, but yeah, I'll explain more later at a different day, but, guys, I just wanted to show you guys that. But what I want to tell you guys on this one, we really got to pay attention to this sunspot, okay? Because it's rotating over. When it gets in front of us, it blew an X-class flare off the backside. So, and it's holding together. It's still very strong, and it is active. Okay? It's unstable. So, and then, guys, if you guys haven't been to spaceweather.com, you guys need to go over here too. This site here is like, man. It's great stuff. You can come here. If you look up here, it says X-ray solar flares. It'll give you a 6-hour max, and then it'll tell you the biggest one we've had in the past 24 hours. These are all the named sunspots right now. Look at this. There's 5 of them. 2 years ago, you probably wouldn't have seen nothing there. A green flash on Venus. This is something we see when you see the transient of Venus a lot. You'll see this anomaly here. You guys should go check that out. Oh, something else I'll show you guys. Remember me talking about Noctilucent clouds? They're definitely here. Okay, this is South Pole. And what a Noctilucent cloud is, it's a blue metallic looking cloud. And what causes these things is water vapor gets really high in our atmosphere, and it gets extremely cold up there, so it freezes around meteor dust. And that's what causes these things. They hang around the poles, but they happen in the summertime. So this is the South Pole. When it comes north summertime, they'll show up there. These go completely away for months because it takes water vapor. What causes water vapor? Well, heat, ice melting, water gets a little bit hotter, more vapor is coming up, right? That's why you see, even though we talk about a freezing effect, it first has to get hotter. It's kind of crazy, huh? It has to get warm and let that vapor go on up, and then it freezes around. And, I kind of, it's not exactly like hail. Hail is formed by water droplets, like a thunderstorm. The droplet will get start off small, and it's got enough strong enough upward wind, it'll shoot it back up. And when it gets high enough up, it freezes. So then it gets a little bit more heavy, so it starts to fall again. Then it picks up some water on the way down. And then more stronger wind will push it back up again until the wind can no longer sustain it. Right? So, and then when it gets big enough to where the wind can't hold it up, that's when it comes down. It's just layer after layer of ice getting put on from wind, letting it fall and rise. Planetary alignments, yeah. Planetary alignments are a big deal, guys. If you guys don't know anything about that, I would encourage you guys to do that. Go check out anything planetary alignment, because it definitely can cause issues. I want to show you guys this too. Remember me talking about the southern coronal hole? See how it's kind of almost grown into that one? This happens quite often. I can show you captures of the sun, the corona, pretty much just right down the middle, just gone. Big coronal holes. Pretty cool stuff. But yeah, guys, I just want to come on and give you guys an update on this, because I haven't been here in a minute, and I know that this was a long one. Okay, I get it. And I'm sorry for that. And I'm sorry I hadn't been on here for a minute, but yes, I had the COV, and everybody that's been with me over on the Lifeboat channel knows that. So I'm going to try to get back to more of a regular posting. But yeah, so let me do this real quick. I do want to show you guys this, okay? Go to, okay, Rip's going to be over here, guys, tomorrow at noon, West Coast time, 3 East Coast time. Okay, this is over on, it's called, the website, or the YouTube page is called The Lifeboat. I helped Tommy run it, and we do some good stuff over there, guys. Anybody is struggling with addiction or anything like that, we try to help. And again, we're not doctors or anything, but we can share our experiences. And you guys would be doing me a favor if you go check it out. I would really appreciate it. If you guys could go over, give it a subscribe, and hang out for a minute. You guys will figure out real fast that it's a family. Really, really quick, you'll find out it's a family, and people want to help each other. So again, here is that, and it's in my description box too, okay? But tomorrow, again, come check us out, because Rip will be over there giving an interview. He's going to tell us his story of his medication battles and stuff. It should be really good. Thanks, CH. Good to see you. So, yeah, yeah. Again, there's the Lifeboat. And Mark Pires. You guys know my boy Mark. You guys need to go check him out too. Mark Pires, Renaissance Man. He's actually stepping out and doing some interviews with a whole bunch of different types of subjects. He actually, now I don't think Mark's I don't know his view on actually this. I don't think he is, but he could, I don't know. Doesn't matter is what I'm trying to say. He had Flat Earth Dave talking about Flat Earth interview. Okay? So go check that out. You know, at the very least, it's going to be interesting. You know what I mean? And, guys, it's positivity here all day long. That's all it is. No negativity. All right? And you're going to get the same thing over on the lifeboat. We don't do anything. We're not judgmental over there at all. Zero. No judgment at all. So know that when you come over, come check us out tomorrow. Check out Rip at noon. And, yeah. So I do think I'm going to go ahead and, cut this. And, yeah, if anything else big happens, I'll come back. Yeah, Bernard, I know what you're saying there, guys. Again, obviously, I don't think our Earth is flat, right? I mean, you guys see what I do. I do respect everybody's ability and the right for them to have their opinions, right? That's where I guess I differ from a whole lot of other channels. You know, again, I'm not going to judge people. They've done what they're doing. I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, we don't necessarily have to agree, but it definitely doesn't mean that we have to hate each other. Just saying. It's all right, Christine. Hey, Renee. Hey, Tommy. What's up, man? Good to see you, Lord. Chris, my brother from up north. Body and soul. It's good to talk to you guys. I really have missed you. Hey, Alfred. Seven's in here, too. Good to see you. Leisure. Violet, what's happening? Yeah. Yeah, Stacy, good to see you. Yeah, I mean, I really, you know, guys, I struggle with a long time because a lot of the stuff I show you guys here on my channel, even though I try to keep it in a positive mind frame, the stuff we talk about here sometimes can get really, really negative. And so I really try to offset that by sending you guys to channels that aren't negative. I'm not going to send you to somebody that's going to be calling you names, that's going to be cussing all over the place. Now, you know, I'm not going to judge people for doing that, but I'm definitely not going to promote it. Right? Back at you, Matthew. Back at you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, guys, there's a whole, we all know this. You know, the communication age that we're in has given us a lot of different points of views. Okay? That's one of the biggest changes. You know, I wouldn't have been able to know that that Chris, Lord Kiss Freak, I would have been able to know him if it wasn't for what's going on now with our communications. Right? So that's a good thing. We oftentimes concentrate on all the bad stuff that happens with communication, social media, and all that. And that's all legit. But I would challenge everybody to step back and try to find the positive in everything. And hold on to that. Don't be ignorant to the negativity. Know that it's there. Know what they're saying. But you don't have to dwell on it and let it get in your head. So, you know, that's just my little spiel, I guess. Okay. Yeah, Spinner, that's cool. Living off grid? For sure. Hey, Amy. Alright, guys, for real, I need to cut this because obviously people get on me. If I put a 10-minute video out, then they'll get on me if I put out a long one. So I just try to do what I can do. Alright, guys. So, God bless. Yahusha saves. And as always, what can you do? You can drink this Kool-Aid.